I always wonder. That's always the question. Is it time? You can tell me.
Well.
Tell me when we're live. All on the things. All on the things and the stuff. What do you think, Booze Nanas? You ready for the show? Oh, really? Yeah, Booze Nanas is always ready for the show. I'm just waiting for this.
So
waiting for the.
A couple people on
Facebook. On the Facebook. Okay, if you're on Facebook, click the link that takes you over to YouTube, because we're live on YouTube, and the sound and the picture will be better. And we're trying to get it moved over to there because it's a better platform for us, and we would like to be able to do that. So head on over, like and subscribe, and check us out on the YouTube. There's a link in the comments, I'm guessing, or a link in the.
I'm gonna put the link there.
Oh, okay.
There's a link in the comments.
The lovely Maggie is putting a link in the comments as we speak. So
right now.
It's right there. It's there right now, apparently. So yeah. So click that link and head on over to YouTube, and we're gonna get started here in just a moment. This is a whole new thing for us. We decided. So Facebook has been doing more and more weird things, and they're like causing all kinds of things that we keep having to adjust for. So we decided, like I said, that we're gonna move over to YouTube. We're still gonna put links on Facebook, but like I said, at YouTube, you go there and you click on my show and you can watch it. There's no rigmarole. There's a lot of rigmarole currently on the Facebook, unfortunately. And we've been doing it there for almost 4 years. And for 4 years, we didn't have a whole lot of problems other than our own problems. We caused ourselves problems through lots of things, but it was always a very good platform. But lately, it's just been getting more and more less less user friendly, I guess would be the the word.
Everybody, CJ, Chad,
go
over to YouTube.
Click YouTube, Boozketeers. Go to YouTube. Go to the YouTube.
Watching.
Yeah, if you're watching me right now, click on the link and go to YouTube.
You can still watch it.
You can watch them both if you want to. If you wanna stay on here, I guess that's fine. But please go over to YouTube, and when you get there, click subscribe and click like. We're trying to also get subscribers over there so they get notified. People don't get notified on Facebook. That's another thing. Is people are like, "What? You went live? I didn't get a notification." So YouTube does seem to be a little more stable in that department. So there you go. I don't know. When do you think I should actually start the show? Should I just go ahead and launch right in? I mean, I don't know.
Start.
Yeah. Is there anybody watching on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, YouTube.
There's a couple of people. Went to YouTube.
Thanks for going over there and hanging out on there.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Hey, YouTube.
Hey, that's me. Now there's going to be an echo.
No, it's gone.
Oh, okay. So, what are we doing? Welcome to Cocktales with Tiki King here on a Wednesday night. What's going on? Well, you may wonder, so what, you're like Tiki King. Well, you're all dressed up. What's going on? Well, I had to dress up tonight because we're going to be tackling one of my favorite things, martinis. You guys know, I love the martini. You do. And I've often talked about, there's a lot of different types of martinis. I generally go with the standard martini. Bombay Sapphire is like one of my favorite. I've been doing one with the St. James 3, which is really nice. I did a Gibson the other night that was fantastic with grapefruit bitters. Very happy with that. But one that's always been kind of elusive is a hybrid that's called the Vesper. And if you're not familiar with it, I'm not surprised. But the Vesper, I heard about this one back in the, I guess it would have been, the first time I heard about it would have been in like the 70s, when I got all into reading James Bond novels. But then I didn't get around to actually like drink-wise until the late 90s. Or mid-ish to late 90s, I don't know, somewhere up, probably like 97, somewhere around there. When I had my basement bar and friends would come over, and we were always looking for new drinks. And back then it was a little more sparse. Finding new drinks, you couldn't just go on the internet, and there wasn't there wasn't a cocktail database like on tikiking.com. Mm-hmm. But so people would scavenge up drinks and they'd bring them to the bar and say, "Hey, Tiki King, make me this drink." And our friend Julia, she said, "Well, I heard about this one called the Vesper that I'm not sure what's in it." So then our friend Chris went out and researched it and came back and he said, "Well, apparently it's from James Bond and it's half vodka and half gin and vermouth." And I was like, "Well, that seems easy enough." So we messed around with the formula and we came up with something that was pretty good. We called it Julia's favorite back then. But it turns out that was kind of a Vesper. It wasn't really a Vesper. It wasn't until fairly recently that I started looking into the Vesper because I thought, I should make that James Bond one. I mean, why not? Well, I'll tell you why not. There was problems. But any of you who saw or read Casino Royale, or saw the movie back in 1967, Casino Royale, or watched the new one with Daniel Craig, which was 2006, something like that. It's pretty recent, seems to me. When was the first Daniel Craig? Do you know, producer Maggie? When he did Casino Royale. I'm sorry, I don't remember when. Yeah, I think it was 2006. But anyway, because he took up the mantle as James Bond, and so his his Bond was the first one to actually read out the recipe on screen. In Casino Royale, he orders the drink, but in the first movie, but the 2006 one was the first time that it was ever actually the whole thing went through. In the book, it is in the book Casino Royale. So what happens is, if you're not familiar, is that Bond is in a casino, and he meets up with this guy Felix Leiter, who's a CIA agent, basically, and they're talking, and they're like, "Hey, should we have some drinks and celebrate our meeting?" And James Bond's like, "Yes, we should." And he says, "What we're going to have is we're going to have Hagen Hag on the rocks." And Hagen Hag is a Scotch that. If you've ever had, it's in a weird bottle with dimples but anyway, he says Hagen Hag on the rocks, and he says, "Actually, I'll have a martini," and then he says, "Actually, I want it in a deep champagne goblet." And the bartender's like, "Oui, monsieur," and then he says, "You know what? Here's what I want. Tell you what I want." He says, "I want 3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of Quino Lillet. Shake it very well until it's ice cold, and add a thin slice of lemon peel." The bartender's like, "Certainly." He seems very pleased, And his character Felix, he's like, "Wow, it's quite a drink," And James Bond says, "Here's the deal. When I'm concentrating, I never have more than 1 drink before dinner. But when I do, I like that drink to be very large and very strong, and very cold and very well made. I hate small portions of anything." And he says, "Particularly when it tastes bad." He says, "This drink's my own invention, and I'm someday going to patent it, and when I can think of a name." And so the bartender's making it, and pours it in, and the glass all frosty and beautiful. And it's in the book he says that he says the gin was bruised, which I always thought was interesting because people are like, "Oh, don't shake a drink; it'll bruise the gin." But he actually calls attention to that it's so frosty because it's all just beautiful and delicious. And so Bond takes a long sip, says, "Excellent." And so he ends up naming it the Vesper after the femme fatale of the movie, who was played by Ursula Andress in the first Casino Royale. So, but she ends up coming to a sad demise. But and strangely enough, he doesn't have Vespers anymore. After that, that's the only time it comes and goes. It's iconic because that's where a lot of people don't know. That's where shaken, not stirred. That's where the whole Bond thing is. From that one, he's very specific, well shaken. And on all the other ones, he drinks generally martinis or vodka martinis. In the movies, I know they had. I think they had sponsorships with Smirnoff or somebody. And so in the movies, he always drank vodka martinis. But the Vesper. So here's the deal. I know that's kind of long-winded, and you guys are like, "Are you going to make a drink? What's the deal?" But here's the thing. So I thought, I'm going to make a Vesper. I'm just going to make one. I never actually had an actual Vesper. So I'm going to make it. So I thought, okay, well, what do we need? Well, we need a, shaker. We need some ice. We're going to need, it says Gordon's, 3 measures of Gordon's. Well, we got Gordon's. Why not? Okay. It says we're going to need a measure of Smirnoff. Okay, well, vodka. It says vodka, but here's the thing. Smirnoff was a very common brand back then. And back then, here's a difference also, is that in 1967, vodka was generally always 100 proof. So finding 100 proof vodka, more than likely it was probably Smirnoff that they would have had in the bar there. So, all right, so here we go. 100 proof Smirnoff. Got that, Gordon's. And then we get Quina Lillet. No, we don't. And here's the thing. Quina Lillet is no longer made. Hasn't been made for years. It was basically a white wine aperitif that was aromatic. It was kind of like a vermouth, but sweeter. And it was bitter and had quinine. And somewhere in the 80s, I believe, they reformulated it, took out some of the quinine, and renamed it just Lillet Blanca. So Quina Lillet, which he calls out in the recipe, you cannot get. However, I was not daunted. Me, daunted? Why would I be daunted? Daunt me. Daunt me, why you? Why I oughta. So not to be daunted. Not to be daunted, I moved on over to YouTube from Facebook by clicking the link. And then I learned the rest of the story. Yes. No, I'm assuming that's what you meant. Head on over to YouTube, people. If you're on Facebook right now, click that link and head on over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. This is a big thing for us. We're moving over there. We're live streaming on Facebook tonight because that's where everybody's used to seeing me. But yeah, go on over. Go to Facebook. Check it out. So, anyways, where was I? Was I here? Pretty sure I was still here. I'm here now. So unless I time traveled back to this exact moment. Yes. So Quina Lillet. Well, so you can't get it. So I'm like, really? So I did some research, and I actually found a person who had found a vintage bottle of Quina Lillet, and they sampled it against the Lillet Blanca, and they said there was very little discernible difference. Their notes were that it was slightly less bitter. I read a lot of things, people making their own quinine extract, making their own things. There's one called Cocchi Americana that's a little more quinine-y apparently. But I thought, okay, well, what can we do? So I read that probably the closest substitute is getting the Lillet Blanca and adding Angostura bitters. It changes the color slightly. It's not going to be crystal clear, but apparently that's about as close as you can get without making your own Quina Lillet, like by soaking Cocchi bark in alcohol and then making your own extract and then making wine and then going to France and then eating omelets and stuff, because they do that.
Awesome.
And
Sorry.
apparently my show is so boring it put the dog to sleep.
Go over there.
Not to sleep. I'm not talking about, not to sleep. But Oscar, go upstairs. He's like, okay, I'll lay down right here. Dog. Anyway.
The reason that it's not loud is because our microphone is on the other device.
That's right.
On YouTube.
Our microphone is on the YouTube, the camera we're using for YouTube. So if you click that link in the comments, it will take you to YouTube where the sound is very loud. So click that link. Go to YouTube. Go over there. I'll give you a minute. Head on over. Just go. Go to YouTube, you people. Go to YouTube. Go. It'll be like Zombocom. Go to YouTube. Everything is beautiful at YouTube.
Yep.
Go to YouTube. Anyway, so without Well, I did hesitate. Without further hesitation, I'm going to bring you the Vesper as best that I can make it, considering what is available. So, we got Gordon's, we got Smirnoff, we got Lillet Blanc, we got some Angostura bitters. We need some ice. Ding, ding. Alrighty, so. See 3 measures of Gordon's. My bottles are leaking. Oh well. 3 measures of Gordon's. 1 measure Smirnoff 100 proof. Half measure Lillet Blanc. Heavy dash Angostura bitters. Shake, shake, shake. Till it's good and frosty. He says, in a deep champagne goblet. Just happen to have something like that. Ding, ding. Uh-huh. Look at the golden hue, as described.
You can smell it from here.
Can you smell it? It smells good, I bet. Frosting the glass, as it's supposed to. Espresso lemon peel. And there we go. Been a long time coming. Been a long time in production. Are we ready? Here we go. The Vesper, as close as we can get. Excellent. Oh, that's good. I think. Send it around the studio. See what comes of it. That is a lovely thing. Just don't show me from the waist down. I'm not wearing your pants. Alrighty. Whoa! Delicious. I'll tell you, Funny thing is, when I was researching it, they said, they were like, wow, it's a lot of booze. It's a big drink. Make sure you have someone to share it with. This is one of my general martini glasses that when I usually make a martini before dinner, I fill it's full. So, I might go a little heavy-handed on the sapphire when I'm mixing up. And it's interesting. So this is that's 6-1 booze to vermouth. Well, vermouth is a booze, but hard booze to aperitif wine or whatever. And my recipe, the 821 Perfect Martini, Tiki King's Perfect Martini, which I generally use sapphire and Nolly Pratt vermouth. I go 8-1, 8-1 ratio. So interesting, 6-1, 8-1. They're onto something. He was on way back then, And also, it's funny because I get all weird about martinis because people are like, oh, just put in the gin and then whisper vermouth, and I'm like, then you're drinking gin, which is fine. I don't mind. You can drink gin all you want. I've done it, but if we're talking martinis, gotta have some. It's what adds that certain I don't know, je ne sais quoi. Um, yes, I like it. I do. I do like the Vesper. Would I drink one here or there? I would drink one anywhere. Mm-hmm. So what else is happening? Other than us moving to YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, click that link and go on over to YouTube. If you haven't already, you should, because you'll be like, wow, I can hear now. Because I know I'm projecting.
Yeah, everyone says it's a better picture. Everything's better.
Yep. Everything's better on YouTube. Everything's better on YouTube. Come on, Booze Nanas. He sings it way better than I do. But anyway, so what else is going on? Well, other than enjoying this, and I am. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not.
Chad's watching on both.
That's Chad. He's probably got like He's probably got like Google glasses with one eye on each thing, just like you know. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer this to my standard martini, but it is lovely. I think this is a drink for a different occasion. You know, not necessarily just for when I'm saucing it up before going on a mission. They grow up so fast. But no, that was good. I think that's probably the first time I've had one with lemon. I always do that. I've been on, olive or onion, the Gibson. Big on love the Gibsons. But with the martinis, I usually go with the 3 olives because 3 olives are good. Because plus that's snack, That way you don't have to worry. Because 3 martini lunch, what's that? 9 olives. Yeah, you can go back to work and be like, yeah, I got my greens for the day, And your boss says, I know, I was with you. And that's a good place to work. It was. Of course, they fired him. But what else is going on? What else is going on in the old Booze-Cateer world? Well, other than us moving to YouTube, which you can click the link down there in the comments, and that'll send you right on over. I know this is going to be the go to YouTube episode. Sorry, but we're just trying to get it all figured out. Yeah, if you head on over there, and please, like I said, if you're on YouTube already, like and subscribe. That's how we can make sure that, because here's the thing. It took us forever to get this whole thing set up with YouTube, because they were like, well, we don't know if you're anybody. Why should we give you a YouTube channel? And we're like, because nobody else is anybody. And they're like, well, yeah, but so. But so there was a lot of figuring it out and getting things done. And every time it was like, you know what, screw it, we'll do it later. And then, so, last night we're like, forget it. We're going to do it tomorrow, and we're going to actually get it all done and go through all the hoops. And we did. And it looks like it's going to be a better thing because also we kind of plan on doing a lot more sort of random live streaming. Just places we're at. We used to always save it for like just the show. But on YouTube it's nice because it'll be up there and you can just go back at your leisure and check it out. On Facebook it kind of gets buried. There isn't you can go to my page and sort of scroll down through everything or click through this and click through that. But if you just want to check out the video goodness or madness or badness, or if you're just so happy that you're like, I need something to bring me down, you can watch my show. And it'll be all there in a neat, tidy package right on the YouTube. So go over there, like and subscribe. That way you can get notifications when we do go live. And you can be like, whoa, they're live on YouTube. And you can click the button and you'll see the madness. You will experience it for your very lonesome. So that's why we're doing this. That is why we're doing this. And I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be good. But so what else is going on? What else is going on, Produce Maggie? All kinds of fun things, isn't there? Is there something about like canoes or something? Is that it? Yeah. You're like, get to the canoes. Why don't you? Yeah. I do. So some of you may or may not know I've been making these canoe sculptures for a long time. And I have used them in some of my artwork for Tiki Oasis, and it's always been a big hit. And I've sold them. They're in tiki bars all over the place. They're in people's home tiki bars all over the place. And then Maggie said, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but can you make the moai bigger? And I said, bigger? Bigger? Make it big? And she said, can you make the moai bigger? And I said, why, yes, I can. And I did. And here it is. I'm going to pull it right out. Oh, jeez. This thing is enormous. I'm going to walk it into the bar. Ooh, ooh, look at this coming. Sailing right on in. Look at this thing's enormous. Gigantic canoe sculptures. Ah, it's like hitting the glasses. Ah, it's causing mayhem. Ah! So, there you go. Giant moai canoe sculpture. And then we have the Marquesian one, the outrigger, which I showed last week, but I'm going to show it again because these things are all kinds of fun, in my opine. Yeah. Hey, wait for us. Marquesian's coming. Look at that. Marquesian war canoe sculpture. It's awesome. We love it. So I've been having a lot of fun doing this, making the bigger stuff. So there's all kinds of links. You can go to tikiking.net. I have like 57 Tiki King domains, and you don't want to go to the wrong one. Trust me. No, tikiking.net. You can order such a thing, and it would look fantastic in your kitchen or rumpus room or whatever, what have you. Anyway. So there's that. Big canoes. They're tippy canoes right now. Tyler too. What else is going on? So that's very exciting. Seems like there's been all these things that we've been working on.
Hall.
What's that?
Tiki Hall today.
Tiki Hall? Oh, what? Wait, I'm confused.
Never mind.
Tiki Hall.
The stuff that you
Oh, the
got at
Tiki,
store.
the Tiki Hall. I was thinking, so the HAUL, not the HALL. I was like, we went to the Tiki Hall today? They must have erased my memory because last thing I heard, we were chugging out of a bottle of the Club Martini, and then so we went to a fantastic thrift store today, which is very exciting. And if I tell you what it is, you'll all go there and buy the stuff. So I'm not going to. Mm-hmm. Anyway, no, we went to the Lost and Found Thrift out here in Utah. Fantastic place. We got I got a Fu Manchu mug, which is very exciting, and I got a cast iron hula girl playing the typical hula girl playing the ukulele. That is my tattoo. So we got that, and we got some fantastic salt and pepper shakers from Leoka, Hawaii. It was a lot of fun. We talked to the guy there. He was nice guy. He's all into pinups. We talked about pinup stuff. I talked about my pinup ukuleles, and it was good. It was a lot of fun. And I envision us going back there a time or two because they had. And this time unfortunately we didn't have a whole lot of time. So I mean the place seemed cavernous, and it was just a really awesome. It was sort of like a hybrid of a thrift store and antique store. But the prices were reasonable. So it was very exciting. So that was a lot of fun. Any day that I can come away with, a tiki mug and some tiki salt and pepper shakers, I'm pretty happy about that. And they like I said, reasonable prices. So, but I got an Orchids of Hawaii Fu Manchu mug, which I have another one somewhere here. I'm not sure. It's somewhere. I don't know. I know.
Room.
What's that? Oh, it's in the other room. Okay, yeah. Where'd we get that one? Did we get that one at some bar? I think we were drinking out of it somewhere or something. I don't know. But it's funny because for years I was always searching for tiki mugs out in the wild. I want to buy them from anywhere, and I could never find them. And then when I finally found one, then I found a bunch of them. So I think that's my third Fu Manchu mug. That took me 10 years to find one, and then 2 years to find three. But I digress. But it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Which I should make. What I'd like to do is figure out the recipe for the Dr. Funk from Hula's Santa Cruz. Good Dr. Funk. That was the one I think that got us shut down because we were talking about how great it was, and I said something about how I've been to places that make them and they taste like dirt, and the bartender thought I was describing his drink. and he got a little prickly. So, no, they fantastic. They make they call it Dr. Funk. I'm not sure if it's the strictly traditional recipe, but it was very good. And I know me and Turk drank several of them, and had a good time doing it. Yeah.
So Dana wants to know about the Wicked Tinker's schedule,
Oh!
specifically Phoenix.
Yes, Wicked Tinkers. Our new schedule is not up currently. We're still working on getting it all figured out. Because of all the COVID stuff, there's a lot of places who have scheduled. They're like, okay, we're going to do it, and here's the date, but it might be this date or it might be this date, so don't publish it yet. So we haven't put up our schedule just because there's a lot of things that they're mostly hammered out, but we don't want to put out wrong information. So we're just waiting on a few things to get hammered out. But yes, we will be in Phoenix.
Yes.
We will be in Phoenix is it first weekend in March? First or second weekend in March?
First weekend of March.
First weekend of March. That's right. We have not been in Phoenix since I almost died there of COVID. Didn't know it at the time because the doctor's like, you don't have COVID. Get out of here and quit asking for lollipops. But then later on, they're like, yeah, pretty sure you probably had COVID, which, I didn't know. What did I know? All I knew was they told me, you stink of death. Get out of here. So, and I did. So, but we're very excited to now go back and not die. Always a bonus, that sort of thing. No, all of you who I didn't get to drink with 2 years ago, I'll drink with you this time. Because there was lots of people saying, here, have some whiskey, and they'd hand me a bottle. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm sick. Take it away, and put it in a glass, and then I'll drink it. There's all the people with their flasks, and people want you to join you. And I was like going, I don't know, I have a cold or something. You might not want to get too close. But this year, I am the only health issues I have is my own insanity. So they call that a health issue. But it's like I keep killing them and they keep diagnosing me. It's a weird thing. But I digress. Boom. I'm happy. We got a bunch of that's other knowledge you guys don't know. We got a bunch of clocks running. I've been over the past couple of weeks getting all these clocks going. So we have at least 3 chiming clocks now, key wound, pendulums and the whole bit. But none of them, I can't get them all to chime at the same time. So it's like about 5 minutes spread of there will just be random chiming in the house, which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I like it. But so I think that's about it for this week. It's about all. Oh, one more time. That's right. Are you watching on YouTube? Hello, I'm the Reverend Dr. Tiki King, and I'm here to talk to you about watching our show on Facebook. There's a remedy for that now. It's called click the link and go to YouTube. Once you do, you'll find that your fears have been alleviated. Your fears of not watching the show can be quickly remedied by viewing it on YouTube. That's right. A simple click of the link will send you over to a place where not only will your fears be realized, but your thirst enhanced to a point where you can no longer stand it. I'm Dr. Tiki King, and I stand by this message. Anyway, so that's about it. Other than go over to YouTube, click the link, share, subscribe, mash the people are mashing buttons these days, aren't they? Mash the button. That's right. Mash that like button. Mash that subscribe button. Smash it. Smash that. Smash or pass on the like button. I'm not sure. That's something else. So, what do you think of my like button? Smash or pass? Oh, that's right. They can't see me from the waist down. Never mind. So there you go, Boosketeers. This has been another show. I'm sorry to say. And I will see you all next week. And I'm Tiki King near the Boosketeers. Good night and good drinking. It may be over if you're still watching.
Just keep talking.
I'll just keep. Maybe it's still going. I don't know.